PD Beats here from Pop Turnus, speaking to character design supervisor Katie Silva about Castlevania Nocturne, which is streaming worldwide now on Netflix. Welcome to the show. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
I mean, it's pretty crazy because we know how massive the fan base is and how global the fan base is for anything Castlevania. Everyone craves the content. When there's new installments that come out, everyone was excited for Nocturne. I'm just curious because I know there's a lot that goes into making Castlevania. Are you ever conscious of the viewer and the fan base and the popularity of it while you're making it, or is that something you think about after once you wrap the project?
Oh, that's an interesting question. So we're very conscious that Castlevania has an enormous fan base, but sometimes it feels like we're just sort of like working in a little bubble, like forgetting that millions and millions of people are going to see what we're working on. And then people will send like fan art of previous seasons or cosplays, and it's like, oh wait, yes, this is pretty big.
Absolutely. And yeah, no kidding, Netflix, millions of people. I feel like there's a lot of different paths getting to where you are in terms of kind of working in animation and character design, supervision. Is that kind of a combination of a lot of kind of interests at an early age in content and animation, or did that kind of just happen for you, Katie?
So I started out drawing anime, of course, as many people my age do. But then I didn't think that would be a real job. So I leaned more into doing illustration or, doing a lot more more technical sides of art. But I had the Ayami Kojima Santa Lilio Sangre art book since I was like 15. So I've been always really into that, especially like her art style. The character design supervisor kind of just happened. I happened to get the job by having stuff on Twitter that my director found, and the character design position sort of grew from there. They just needed somebody to do it. So I kind of lucked into it all the way.
Sometimes it kind of feels kind of vague, right? Like, what do you do? Oh, I'm a character design supervisor, right? And it's like, okay, tell me more. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, so what the job entails, like day to day?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a lot. So first of all, we design the characters. So we get scripts in from the writers and executive producers. We get little blurbs about the characters, and then we will draw a bunch of concept sketches. We'll get notes on the concept sketches. Sometimes we'll get them approved. And when they're approved, we'll make model sheets. So that's like front view, side view, all the views. Like if a character has a cape, we'll draw under the cape because the cape might be like flapping in the wind, and so you need to see what's under it. And then I will do drawovers for the rest of the team too, just to make sure that like everyone's sort of drawing in the same style.
And it's interesting too, because there's so many kind of steps. And I find it interesting because there's so many steps in regards to you making Castlevania, and then so many steps in terms of it coming out with press and marketing and all of that stuff. You know what I mean? Does it sometimes feel like it's just like 85 consecutive steps, like pre-production and post-production?
Yes, absolutely. This is the first time I've sort of been involved in things like interviews, so that's been a new thing, but that's always been really fun.
But it's cool because people want to know the behind the scenes. Like on Pop Turnus, we do a lot of interviews with a lot of storytellers and creators like yourselves, and the coolest interviews are like how it was made. So that being said, what would you say are some of the biggest, I wouldn't say challenges, but what in terms of like designing a character, what are the big questions or the big things that need to be determined by you and your team before kind of really diving into creating these characters? I'm curious about that.
Okay. So the first thing is the character's role in the story and the writer's intentions for that character's role in the story. So that's the big thing. Like, are they cool? Are they creative? Are they suave? Are they like really intimidating? So we need to know all of that because there are design language things that you can do to like get that across, right? So that's probably the most important thing is like, what is the intention for this character? And also like, what are we pulling from the games for this character?
Absolutely.
Like, yeah.
Is it also, but it's interesting too, to kind of add to that, the games, the TV series, it's all Castlevania, but That's the Castlevania games. There's Castlevania TV shows. There's going to be maybe some different things, some different characters, some different looks and everything. Do you feel like sometimes that gets forgotten a little bit? That like it's part of the like Castlevania like world, right? But like, you know, there might be some things in the video game that might be different in the TV shows and vice versa, right? But I feel like that just happens.
Yeah, Castlevania is a really big franchise, and there have been a lot of different interpretations of characters. Like for instance, Alucard has been like, he used to have like short black hair, and like Ayami Kojima came along and did designs later that were based off of other designs. And so like there have already sort of been a lot of interpretations of characters. So we're thinking like, what is the most important part of the most important characters that we would like to include?
When I talk to a lot of music supervisors, Katie, for a lot of shows, we always talk about kind of deadlines because, you know, a lot of these shows, especially with music supervisors, they have weekly air dates, right? You know what I mean? Like, so you laughed at that because I'm sure like the deadlines come back to haunt you sometimes because there's big tests. But like, how did you like? Is it one of those things where like when you got a job like this with Castlevania, like was that just something that you kind of like I knew what you signed up for a moment where there's going to be some deadlines to get this stuff out and there might be some kind of obstacles in the way? Like how conscious were you of the deadlines of creating these characters and getting the world out there specifically?
Yeah, deadlines and animation, they go hand in hand for sure. Castlevania, we're lucky because we get to sort of make all of the episodes. We're doing them one at a time, but also sort of all at once because they all drop on Netflix at the same time. We're not doing a weekly show like One Piece where it's like one episode per week, every single week until you die. So we're a little bit luckier in that our deadlines are more gentle, which means that we really get to polish things a lot. Yeah, you just have to sort of pick and choose your battles, but luckily I think we get a chance to really polish the things we want to polish.
And as I said, Castlevania Nocturne is streamed worldwide on Netflix. They can check it out. Last question before I kind of wrap up, and it's a part A, part B question for you here. So basically, it's kind of the same question, but this B is a little bit more specific. What is your favorite thing about working in animation? What is your favorite thing about working on Castlevania Nocturne?
Okay, favorite thing about working in animation is I actually get to draw anime for a living. Like what? Like who thought that would be a job, right? I get to study like current anime and understand the pipeline and then do it as my job. I think that's amazing.
Absolutely.
For Castlevania Nocturne, I really, really enjoyed getting to work with really iconic characters like Maria and Richter. One of my favorite things was just trying to adapt a currently existing design like Maria to an animatable style because I loved that design so much. I thought that was really fun.
And there's a good chance because we have a lot of Castlevania fans that watch a lot of our pop-turnative stuff and everything. So there's a chance they've watched Nocturne already, but if they haven't, they are going to be able to binge that now worldwide on Netflix because it's currently streaming. Katie, so great chatting with you. Thanks so much for your time. Seriously.
Yes, thank you so much. It was great to talk.
Absolutely. Well, this has been Popturnative, youtube.com/Popturn for previous episodes. Episodes of Castlevania Nocturne streaming now worldwide on Netflix. Until next time, this is Katie Silva and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popturnative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popturnative on YouTube.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.